if my table is added as a type, then can I use that type itself as my part of table? If at all I wish to make use of it, how can I use that then? If at all I have to use it. So let us try to say create probably say a table. OK, now this table would be responsible to hold say data related to say a person. So let me create a table. So create table my data. So I'm taking ID type serial, then person, or let us take OK, person name text comma country. This OK, let us take country only. So this also would be a text type. Now my data, my table is created. So if I go and check here, it is also added into type. Instantly the way that I insert, it automatically is added there. So let me insert this value, insert into my data values. Now, OK, so as we have taken serial, so we will write here person name, comma, country, values, say Rohit, Mumbai. Say now you will see here I inserted 3 records, correct? In this case, when I really wish to say, for example, use this as an record perspective. If I have to use this data, then how can I use it? Correct. So let me try to see if I can use this as an a type in my table. OK, well, like if I wish to create another table, how can I use it? So OK, let me check. Say for example, create table. Correct. So let us take this and let us give some name as, for example, personal friends. OK, my data is a type. OK, names. So I'm taking this as a type. Correct. Now if I wish to insert say a record here, if I see the type or if I see the description, I can see this kind of stuff with my table. Correct. Now if I move further and try to really verify how come or how exactly I can add data into this table, how will I do this? How should I do this? So I have to insert like this, insert into, say for example, personal friends, and then I'm saying OK, names, because I have taken this as a column. Then let me write values. OK, now let me add say first value. Right, how do I insert it now? So should I add that column probably which is a serial? So let me skip for a while. So let me add Chahal, India, and let us see what happens here. If I try to insert this, then it identified that insert has more expressions than the target column. Correct. Now I already have said that if I could talk about this my data is having few columns over there. Right? Few columns over there. So when I used names, say for a while, is it giving me is it permitting me to add the data? So probably it is showing okay, seems there is an error. So let me try doing this. Names dot say person name. Okay, comma names dot country. If I try to do this, then it inserts a record. So if I try to see this, I can see the record added like this. Then why exactly it took this as an empty field? Because the serial was meant for that table only, not meant for outside. So if at all I have to add that data, then I have to take it as say names.id, comma. Then I will add some number here. 97458. If I try selecting this, now I can see that there is no comma specifically added. Now is it going to hamper the original record? So if I write select what was the name? Table friends, my data. It is having this. Now it is not hampering anything with respect to my original table when I inserted that record. Because I took it as only one column. How do I select then? When I selected this, select star from personal friends, I may wish to select this like this. Say for example, okay, so let me take if I see above. Correct, let us go above. So we have took this names, correct? Yes. So select names dot person name. Sorry, I took comma. Can I use it like this? So it is saying that you may not because you are not writing anything with respect to the from clause entry for table name to be this. But then what should I write there? Should I use it as personal friends? So now it is saying column personal friends dot person name does not exist. Now how can I execute this then? Now instead of this, if I try doing this, now I got the entry because it is an object. So the way that I tried writing names, it is not permitting me to do so because I have taken these names as like one entry where that type itself is a record. The type itself is a record. I mean to say a table. So if at all I wish, I need to always take this as names dot person name, names dot say other columns country. Say for example, if I write names dot country. Right now, this is not stated anywhere in the syntax, but ultimately, if you see, it is definitely permitting us to do or execute these kind of queries while working with Postgres. So maybe other databases also may provide similar kind of stuff. Right? So if I say if the record is inserted like this, can I think of converting this to JSON kind of entry where it would be something different than the way that we see in relational databases. If you recall, those who did MongoDB, you must have seen that how the output of select query or find queries shown to you through the JSON object. So can I use this? So select. Let me use I think JSON B. I assume JSON B underscore. So let us see. Pretty, yeah. Now there is a function called JSON B pretty. So what exactly it does? It would be showing you the data into JSON format. But for that purpose, we need to convert that data first to JSON B. So how can we convert it to JSON B? So there is a function to JSON B, I think, to JSON B. Yeah. So both of these functions are belonging to pgcatalog schema. And this can take any kind of element. So if I try writing this, select now, we know that I fired this query through say relational database. How exactly it would be converting it to then JSON object, which was not supposed to be task of this, but they have written such kind of function rather. There's a function provided, like if I write JSON B pretty pretty. Now let me convert it to say JSON B and our table name. Correct. What is the table name? Personal friends from sorry, I somewhere missed the comma. Yeah, I should add one more column here, one more bracket here. Yeah. You can see that it is showing me in terms of JSON format. Now this is pretty like function of only like this is a function return which only is displaying that in terms of what it was supposed to be shown. So can I use this then? Can I use this with my data too? If I try to say use it. Yes, it will show me that data. Now see, this is only the formatting mechanism that is used by the Postgres functions. Like when the function body, like function is written for to JSON B, first convert it to JSON format, and JSON B pretty is the function which is responsible to show you this output. Correct? This output. Now this would be useful for you if at all you wish to make use of, say for example, kind of NoSQL functionality supported by Postgres. But here, problem would be that data would be having a defined structure, which is not the case with NoSQLs. Correct? So, like if say for example, if I wish to go along and try to really find out what happens if in this case I took my data as one type there earlier when I created a create table query, when I fired a create table query. What if I have another tables also included here as in a type format? It would be a bigger row. Still, it would be a structured one. You cannot say that it is not going to be unstructured one. Correct. Now we saw that with PostgreSQL 14. So when I try to fire this kind of query, like for example, if I wish to create a table with say OID, it is not permitting me. So what happens if I try writing such kind of query? Say table OID. Let us try. So it is telling me table OID, name of that array class that we are. That's why we are using this. So when I'm firing this query, like this was meant for a customer table. What if I wish to make use of with my data? Actually, even if you have not provided that with OIDs, it should be created. Actually, the table OID is always added with that table, so as to maintain consistency with respect to retrieval process of the data. Because table OID is one of the hidden system column that can be used explicitly to select in order, whatever the order that you wish to see. It would be like you may write it at whatever the place that you wish. And it will tell you what is the name of that table here, depending upon the OID belongs to which table OID. We are taking this table OID from Ray class. So this Ray class would be having all those internal things. So if I write simply OID here, what happens? It says you may not be able to find out that probably. So if I write CTID, do you think it would be showing me this? Then what would be part of my Ray class? I think that day somebody was telling like if I fire query, rather if I search the PostgreSQL source code, I can definitely get this definition of Ray class. So try to find out where exactly this Ray class is defined. Where exactly this Ray class is defined. And I wish or I want you to create a table where there would be say 5 columns, or you take 4 columns, whatever, two more than 3 columns, but make sure that every column will have type as one table name. So don't take the standard traditional say types. Correct? Can we use it? How can this be achieved, and how exactly this Ray class would be referring to? How can we make use of this Ray class? Ultimately at all the places where it would be useful for us. Correct? So the function that I showed you with respect to JSON object, which can be converted like JSONB to JSONB function and printing it in the JSON format, JSONB pretty. So like when the example that I gave, what if you create a table where the 3 columns are and all these 3 columns are talking about probably what you can call it as table names themselves, then how exactly this unstructured, though it would be a kind of structure, I cannot call it as an unstructured, but because the tables itself are the structured things. So how can I make use of this function rather to convert it? So note down this function, try to find out if you can get definition of this function. How do you get it? How do you get that function definition? So can I write dfs plus? It says it's an internal function, correct? Because language used is internal. And you can see like what exactly displayed there, indented text from JSONB formatting. Same thing if I go with another function. So map input to JSONB. At least I can see what that particular function definition is trying to tell me. So all such functions would be available into pg underscore proc. These all are functions. And I even haven't used all of these functions because they are meant for different things to carry out. Until unless you require them, you may not use them. Or until unless it is required, you will not be using them. So now I'm giving you one target. What I want is, as I earlier told, create a table where that table would be having probably 3 columns, and each of the column itself is having a type as table name. The way that I created that case now. Right? How we do this? Try it now and let me see. I want to see your screenshots. Try it on your end and let me know how can this be done. Try it. I'm waiting for your screenshots. Yes, try it. If you have questions, you can ask me. I'm waiting for your screenshots. Huh? Do it. Do it right now only. Yes. Yes. Deepali? Don't give me reasons no, now. Huh? If you do, I am not using laptop, I am joining with mobile. Otherwise, come in the department. Sit in the department. It would be
So,
absolutely necessary. Yeah.
so we have to insert data also.
No. At least like if you create, try. Okay, maybe try inserting data too.
Okay.
I wish to see like how or what happens when you insert, how exactly or what kind of care is taken by you. Have you faced any error there and so on. Okay, 1 minute. No. You have taken only one. Who submitted this? Devesh. I want you to take 3 columns where each of the column would be type name as a table name. Here
So
you are
Okay,
when
sir,
taking.
we
got it.
when we insert the record for those three tables, so how do we define that? I'm just getting the syntax.
करेक्ट. Can you repeat? देखो अभी ये जो इसका है जैसे देवेश ने लिखा है अभी या मेरा जो स्क्रीन दिख रहा है. So what I did there while inserting records. Sorry. Insert करते टाइम देखो कैसे लिख किया है. So when I inserted record, I use this ना names करके ऐसे यूज करके देखो उधर कॉलम्स अलग अलग
Okay.
किसी स्पेसिफिक ऑर्डर में आएगा ना वो. अभी इसमें क्या होता है कि लाइक द ऑर्डर दैट यू इंक्लूड doesn't matter, only what matters is the order that you use with respect to this insertion.
So like normally when we don't include the name of the column and directly include the values, so this won't happen in this case.
क्या 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 sorry, can you repeat?
सर ये जैसे जनरली हम ये नेम डॉट आई डी या ये नहीं लिखते हैं और सिंपल टेबल में सीधा वैल्यूज डाल देते हैं, तो अब जब एट्रीब्यूट्स की टाइप टेबल है तो क्या वो स्ट्रक्चरिंग आगे पीछे हो जाती है?
So it goes with the order of columns. बट अभी
अब
टेबल में वही तो ढूंढना है ना मैं, लाइक व्हाट हैपेंस देयर इफ एट ऑल यू आर टेकिंग समथिंग डिफरेंट. अभी इसने जो टेबल तैयार किया है अनुभव ने, अनुभव कैन यू प्लीज एक्सप्लेन?
Yes, sir. One second. So, sir, I created three tables, 1, 2, 3, and I created one student table which has three columns. First column is of type 1 table, then
Okay.
second column is of type 2 table, and third
Okay.
column is of type third table.
Okay.
Then I inserted values into this final student.
Now like you mentioned there, like what he was asking question in the same order I'm asking, what happens if you don't refer the order, if you directly try to insert the records, what happens there?
I will try.
Try one. यस, ये किसका है? अनुभव. अनुभव वो होने के बाद क्या करो कि जैसे मैंने वो, ठीक है, जैसे मैंने ये दिखाया था अभी थोड़ा सा कि वो फंक्शंस यूज करने हैं. सो हाउ कैन यू यूज दोस फंक्शंस टू try to show me the one, like you can take screenshot of it, let me add that, let me show you that which are what was the function. So I want you to make use of this.
Okay, sir.
Okay, ये देखो इस तरीके से आपको यूज करना है, उसको देखो फिर कैसे दिखता है वो.
Right.
So is it in the same pattern the way that we may create relations probably or objects probably into MongoDB kind of structure? अनुभव तूने एक ही कॉलम लिया हुआ है ना?
सर 1 रो है सर।
हाँ नहीं नहीं नहीं, मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ तेरा एक ही एक एक एक
नो
ओके,
नो सर,
दो कॉलम लिए, दो लिए, ठीक है।
3
तीन
कॉलम।
तीन है सर।
तेरे वाले 3 है क्या?
ये सर बार कोड, स्टॉक और ऑर्डर लाइन टाइप है।
सो अभी तूने मिक्सचर तैयार किया ना? इंसर्ट इनटू मिक्सचर।
पीटी फॉर्मेट लगा के दिया है इसमें, ज़्यादा क्लियर आइडिया
देखना उसका उसका आउटपुट देख अभी सिलेक्ट करके।
है। ये भेजा सर।
ओके, आइटम आईडी बार कोड, आइटम आईडी क्वांटिटी, ठीक है, गुड, ठीक है। और कोई आउटपुट? Okay, I can see that there are many peoples who are in the list, nearly 37. Okay, I want each one of you to submit that there.
Sir, the order in this pretty format has changed.
क्या ऑर्डर आया, क्या चेंज हुआ उसमें?
ये जो ऑर्डर लाइन यानी कि जो ओ कॉलम है वो बाद में था, स्टॉक एस जिसको एस डिनोट कर रहा है वो पहले था बीच में, तो ये ऊपर आ गया, ऊपर नीचे हो।
ओके ओके, सो ये फॉर्मेटिंग की वजह से हो सकता है शायद। तूने पहले क्या लिया था?
पहले बार कोड, फिर स्टॉक और फिर ऑर्डर लाइन, बट जब आंसर आया तो ऑर्डर लाइन वाला बीच में आया।
बार कोड, ऑर्डर और स्टॉक लिया ना उसने?
यस सर।
ओके, सो अभी ऐसे सीधे सिलेक्ट स्टार मिक्सचर कर, सिलेक्ट स्टार फ्रॉम मिक्सचर, और दिखा क्या आता है तो। Okay, everyone whose name is seen here towards right list, right side list, I want each one of them to submit this. It is compulsory for them. Everyone. You can treat this as classwork.
In select star it's coming in order.
Select star में order आ रहा है ना?
Yes sir.
Okay, good. That means what, ये जब fire करेगा, so the pretty thing is doing something different there. Correct? Even the JSON conversion के time में. So is it really doing it for everyone? Like अनुभव तू भी ट्राई करके देख, कुछ ऑर्डर चेंज होता है क्या, देख वहां पर। प्रतीक्षा, मेघा, चेतन पाटिल, देवेश, झालं नाही का?
सर प्रेटी के टाइम ऑर्डर चेंज हो रहा है, हम
पीटी के
नॉन
टाइम ऑर्डर
सिलेक्ट
चेंज,
स्टार में नहीं हो रहा।
सिलेक्ट स्टार में नहीं हो रहा है। ओके, so same thing the way, like फिर even try to find out if I change number of columns. Say suppose if my first table contains 3, second column contains 2, third column contains 3. So if I take, is it dependent on the order, or it is dependent on some kind of internal adjustment by it to show that into JSON format?
Anubhav, could you just check if it is giving in alphabetical order in JSON? The
Okay, good.
column name.
You may be on right track now. You may be on right track now. That's what I wanted. Exactly. Good. Very good. So this would be responsibly giving you in a order of alphabets. Some alphabetical order would be followed by it. Good. Very good, Anurag.
Thank you, sir.
Anubhav, and Anurag, now do one thing. Okay, now what we did was, like if at all the table that you created here, correct? Now you had say 3 tables earlier which were created by you, correct? Which you took as an say for example, आपका एक table था books, दूसरा था movies, and third table was songs, for example. Okay, books, movies, and songs. If these are my 3 tables. Now, if I wish to enter record in each one of them, like by creating another table where 3 columns would be having these 3 as a types. So for example, I may say create table my favorites. So for example, I may say book, type name is books, movie type name is movies, and third is say song, type name is songs. So with assumption that books, movies, and songs are 3 tables created by me. So if I try to insert into that my table, my favorites, if I insert into only book, see what happens. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now even try to see like if either of the table is having some constraint there, will that be used internally? It will not be. We know that it is only picking the structure, not the constraints. Okay, side by side, I'm working now with the say my own stuff with respect to what I'm giving as an task for you. So I want what? So create table, say for example, books. Okay, so let us take that table to be say ISBN. I'm taking it text, title, text, and
So the
price.
constraints of the tables don't have any
Correct,
effect of
correct.
that.
That's what I said. It is not going because it adds only structure. Correct? Not the constants,
Right.
even not the values. Suppose these are my 3 tables. Okay, you can take this as a sample. So now I have made sure that I'm not using any constant here because I know that constants would not be copied. Correct? Now I'm creating a table, create table my FAV book, books, movies, and songs. Correct? How do I insert here? So if I say insert only this, insert into my fav. Okay, let me take book. Values. Let me add ISBN. Fine. So if I file select star from my fav. Correct. Now same thing if I try to only display these values which are possibly here. So if I write select book dot, what was the column name? ISBN, comma, book dot title, comma, book dot price from my fav. I can see that now you can see how the data is displayed here. It is different than the way that it was shown in earlier case, the way that I saw here. Correct. Now, can I use it as probably like you can use this JSON B pretty and to JSON B to display this by inserting few more records there. Correct. Say insert 2-3 records and try to see the data. Now, can I alter? Can I alter? How can I alter this table? Alter, like while I alter it, I want to convert that column, each column that I have now, book or a movie or a song. I want to convert it to an array. How do I do this? So one sample case I'm providing you. Alter table, say, yeah, my favorite. Let me try this. Alter column, say book. Type books, which is an array. Using array book. Do the same thing for songs. Do the same thing for movies. Now see, we are trying to see some different level of insertion, different level of probably alter. Now what if I have to update? How do I update this? How do I update this? Yeah. Okay, so Maimuna showed us few things related to the data that changed. Okay, good. Okay, yeah. So now I want you to fire this alter table with all 3 columns. So we applied for book because my table contains 3. So I changed that type. You can see that, correct? Earlier it was only books rather, type was books. So I'm converting it to array. That's what you do generally. array of structures. If structures are part of your structure, then what? Think of this as an implementation perspective. How do you do this? Now, how the data would be shown when like if I take a sample case with respect to what was added there. So it is as we concluded that it is taking type of order of the characters or the words in ascending one. But what happens if at all, say, with assumption that I inserted records for each of these three, book, movie, and song, and then how do I update it? Because I want to add one book into book array. Earlier, my records are like this. So see if I fire select star from my fav. Now see, it is shown me as an array now. Earlier, it was not shown like this. You can compare this one, the output shown here, and the output shown here. Because of what I may wish to see, this is order favorites given by one individual member, which is your serial. Some say you are adding apart from these three columns, you are adding something like the name of the person or roll number of a person from your batch, rather. His favorite book, favorite movie, favorite song, or her favorite book, favorite movie, favorite song. But favorite doesn't mean that it would be only one. What if it has two? So I need to say, suppose if I want to update my favorite book too, how do I update this? So update my fav. Okay, then I say set book equal to, now earlier array I will take book. Correct. I will concatenate it with now new entry. So okay, what are the columns we have taken? So 5, 4, 3. Yes, I took something. If I insert this, now this should be done with reference to the original table, like the way that I used earlier array class. Let me try this whether it works or not. It worked. Now if I fire this, you can see what I did. I added one more table value as an array. So I added actually an array element. Like now in this case, you are saying that I actually am trying to add my own favorites, for example, for one individual record. So when I say favorite, it may not be only one. What if it works with two? So maybe like while I try to apply the same thing for each of these three things. So book, movie, song. Take this as a sample. I want you to create update like this only. Add maybe 3, 4 records in each of them. Okay, each of them I mean to say for example roll number 1, 20101. For example, the roll number is from 20101. His or her personal favorite is this. For a book, there would be a movie, there would be a song. Now add another record 102. Another record for him or her. Then try to apply your JSON things, whatever the way that I applied, and see what exactly is shown there at that point of time. So if I try to see, say for example, this select JSON B. Sorry, I forgot it. Pretty to JSON B. Correct. Now, like, is it the same order that I followed? So I took book, movie, song. So it is showing me book, song, movie. But even if I talk about alphabetical order, is it really following that order? Or it is taking say different thing? Are you with me? अनुराग समझ में आया मैंने क्या पूछा?
Yes sir, not following that. Yes,
क्या हुआ?
The order is not dictionary order now.
Yes. So try this. Now here I inserted only one for this book. What if I insert into movie 2? What if I insert into song column 2? And then have different values and try to see like what exactly happens there. Now think of how when you create a structure in C language, if that C structure contains itself set of structures, then what happens? How it is managed internally? Because showing only select doesn't fulfill everything. Are you with me? Okay, I expect each one of you to really send that to this chat window. Okay, I could see only Mega sent something with too many enters. I don't know what exactly she did. Try to take these columns and try to see like if you can get it. I got Maimuna, then Megha, Anurag and Anubhav. Only these submissions. Even Devesh couldn't submit the updated one. Okay, submit the things at the earliest.